you go. We are back. The Stronger Together podcast is coming to you live from Orlando here at the Conference Center of ISTE 2026. I am thrilled to be here. My name is Matthew Joseph. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Stronger Together podcast here at ISTE Live with my good friend who I'm getting to know a lot better through the last month, Nick. How are you doing, Nick?
I am ecstatic because I am sitting next to one of my oldest, dearest friends. And I almost said like ed tech friends, but we are like friends. That started on the old days of edu Twitter, and now I'm sitting next to her doing a podcast thing. So I'm excited.
I think when I met with School AI and they wanted to be a part of this, and Nick is like, "Can I just tag along? Can I just come and meet all these great people that you get to meet?" And I'm like, "Of course." And because I think everybody, for those of you who've been watching along the way, I think every person Nick has come and been like just so excited. So it's been great for me to see that as well, because it makes the show feel authentic. It makes the viewing experience better. And one thing about the viewing experience, I want to make sure to introduce, I'm going to say a regular at this point on the show. Shannon has been on, I think we've been here for 4 years now, and I think been on every one, both ISTE and FETC, and it is a great pleasure because for me, it's like learning something new every time. So Shannon, thank you so much for signing up again, coming back, and being part of sharing your work here.
Thank you for having me. Always a highlight.
Oh, great. So for those who don't know your work, which probably is very little at this point, but for those few, tell us a little bit about who you are and the work that you do.
Yeah, so I am a teacher librarian, a district teacher librarian in Van Meter, Iowa.
Woo-woo.
And I also, you know Van Meter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I also serve as the Future Ready Librarians leader. So I work with librarians and educators all around the country, speaking and consulting and doing this great work. And I'm also an ISTE author. And I have 3 new books actually that are coming out at this conference. And so that makes 8, 9 here at ISTE in the ISTE bookstore. So,
and you're doing a book signing on Tuesday at 12 o'clock, correct?
Tuesday at 12, and then also I'm doing in the BenQ booth at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. I will be giving books away, signing books and giving.
So what are the 3 books that are coming out? Are this part of the children's series?
Yes, so they are part of the ISTE Digital Explorers, and so there are 3 more. And the great thing about the books is they all tie to the ISTE student standards, and so there's one about discovering and researching. There's another one about global connections, and then of course one tying into STEM. And so I'm very excited about that. They'll join Sonia and her friends.
And it's so amazing. I'm glad you brought up Sonia. Sonia is really the main character. Tell us a little bit about Sonia, her work. It's just I love the books. I recommend them to all the schools that I work with, and I love that it has a character. A plush shell, I think even. Like, tell us about her.
I know. So Sonia, it started out with Sonia's Digital World. And the great thing about Sonia is she is just like all the kids that we work with. And even though she lives in a digital world, I think the main thing is that Sonia is a kid and part of a family and a friend. And it's a great thing to use with our kids. We really want them to understand just that even sense of belonging and being part of a community, and then being able to talk about the technology around us, but also being really thoughtful and caring and engaged as a learner too, and creative. So I love Sonia.
All I can keep hearing in my head is that clip from Wayne's World where they're like, "I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy." Like people, again, if there is someone that has been under a rock and has no idea who Shannon Miller is, she has set a standard for teacher librarians, in my opinion, to what it looks like to essentially take control of the space and really move it into the present and future era. I mean, future ready, absolutely. Because I remember my view of librarians before I met you and was like, oh, this is not the librarian that I thought I knew. And I've said this for years ever since. I got my master's in ed tech. I would have absolutely gotten my master's in library science if I knew that was a thing.
You would have been a good librarian.
Oh my goodness. Like,
you made his day.
I can. I'm going to put that on my bios. Shannon Miller said I would be a good librarian. Right. Oh my goodness. But like, how difficult was that for you to push and break through these traditional standards for what a librarian is?
Well, I think, when I became a librarian, number one, I wasn't a librarian when I got the job. I was going back and getting my master's degree. And one of the big things for me after a few weeks is like, I can do so much more than just, at that time, what I was expected to do. And it was right when we were talking about going one-to-one, 20 years this year.
Yeah.
And and it was right on like the cusp of so many things. And I just found myself a seat at the table. And I was like, we need to change what we're doing at this district and change what we're doing within education. And the librarian is the perfect role to do that because we have our foot in so many doors. We have a seat at the table. We wear so many hats, and those can be the leaders within your school. And especially now when we're thinking about, all the new things that we're thinking about, and AI, and we need digital literacy and screen time and all of these, topics. I think librarians are the ones to really be leading and helping to lead all of that too.
So this morning you had the Future Ready Library Summit. How was that?
It was so great. We had such a good turnout. Again, amazing librarians and really, just doing great work around the country. We even had people international too.
That is great. I've seen many walk by. I've met some
Yes.
people from Mexico and
She's from
Samoa.
Africa.
That is amazing. And then you keep that dance floor going. You have some sessions for sure. So let's talk Monday. Create, publish, inspire student storytelling with Adobe at 10:30. Then empowering your library program with AI at 2:30.
Yeah.
So 2 sessions on Monday. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so the first one, I have it with Martha, actually.
Martha!
I know, Martha.
Martha, here's a shout out. Martha.
And I think I just saw her over there.
Hey, Martha.
And then Bill Bass and I are in the afternoon talking about empowering libraries. And I'm also in some booths tomorrow, too, on the conference floor. So,
She will be in the School AI booth 2714 talking about AI in the library. We're really excited to have Shannon in the booth and talking
That is
School
great.
AI.
yeah, it's going to be so fun. But I'm just excited, too, about I get to be in the booth tomorrow, the book, the selling the books. So
Wonderful.
promoting books.
You're busy, and in case you thought Shannon was going to have some time off, you keep going on Tuesday. You have School Librarian Playground that you're going to be at 9:45, empowering digital citizens at Tuesday at 10 o'clock, and then your book signing. So
Yeah.
a busy Tuesday. So
Busy.
tell us a little bit about what you got going on tomorrow.
Well, I'm really excited about the playground because on Tuesday there's lots of different librarians who are going to be in the playground. That's always such a great place, not only to learn, but also just to connect with other librarians. That's usually a hot spot to go. You should go there because, now
Go there,
you're
Nick.
now you're
Yeah,
librarian.
yes, I will absolutely be there.
It's
But
going to be there. And then I have one about
Yes, speaker.
empowering digital citizens and the book signing. So
Big day tomorrow.
so fun.
I do love going to the library playgrounds. I mean,
Yeah.
all joking aside, like always something innovative, always something like, because it's not
Yeah.
about like, for people that understand, this isn't about being in a library. It's about how librarians are connecting with other content areas and helping that growth. And so I think that was my misconception at first.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't shelve books, or I like that's not the library playground that you think it is. And so
Lots of collaboration going there.
Mhm.
So that's a good one to check out.
And just when you thought you were done, you come back on Wednesday. They keep going again.
Yeah.
Wednesday at 10:30, the EdTech match game.
Nick, tell
I was going to
tell
say,
about it.
this is our second guest from that session. So two of you, talk about that.
It's quite the lineup.
it is, I'm just so excited for this session. It is Adam Bello, Adam File, Donnie Piercy, Steve Dembo, Shannon Miller, and Jess Laux. They are the panel, and I am the host for the ISTE EdTech Match Game, which if you've ever seen the match game, there's like a phrase, and a contestant has to guess what the blank is in the phrase, and the panelists write their own answers down, and it's silly, and it's crazy, and we have a good time. It's 10:30 to 11:30 on Wednesday, so after you've been out hanging out, having a wonderful night at EdTech Karaoke, also sponsored by School AI Tuesday night.
Go School AI.
You can roll into the session at 10:30, grab a seat, and just watch the silliness unfold. It's
going to be fun.
Yeah, it's a selfish session that I asked to put together to get my friends together
There you
to
go.
talk about learning in a different way. And so, when I was planning this, Shannon was the top of my list as someone I got it because we've done things like this before.
And that's a powerhouse list. I hope they're not listening.
It really is.
I'm gonna tell Adam Bello. I'm gonna
Adam,
say it
I
to
will
him.
tell each of them to their
Oh,
face.
that's who was on. Adam. We had Adam on. Yeah.
It's going to be really fun.
But we've done like Hollywood Squares in the past. We've done like tons, like Family Feud. Like every couple of years, we do something sort of silly and wacky. What's new out there? And so Match Game was like, oh, it could be fun. And working with Shannon as I have over the years, for those who don't know, we did a project together with an English teacher of hers.
Yeah.
We met at an ISTE in Denver.
Yeah.
This was like, I think the first time we met. And we did the whole, we should do something together.
Yeah.
You know how people say that and they go about their lives? Shannon like immediately was like, so what are we going to do? Like I get this message. I'm like, oh, this is happening. We put together a project where my 3 freshman English courses and 2 from Van Meter grade 9, we did a filmed version of Romeo and Juliet where my students did acts 1, 3, and 5. They did 2 and 4, and we filmed it all together, had a world premiere, and we used wikis because Google Docs wasn't available yet.
Yes.
Like we had to do Skype because that was the only way to communicate. And those kids are 30 now.
I know, that makes my heart so happy to think about that.
It was
like, how cool was that?
We found a way with the technology that was available.
Yeah.
And, the last guest that we had, Amy, she was talking about engagement. And I had never seen kids more engaged in Romeo and Juliet and that whole process. And so it's like a perfect example of what I see as the future ready librarian.
Yes.
You made the connection, you helped provide the resources, you helped instruct us or support the students when they wanted to do those things. And I think that encapsulated to me almost what my expectations became for teacher librarians at my school and at my district and what to work on. And it's something I think of fondly every year when I get the memories pop up into my feed, because it changed even for me my project-based learning approach to learning.
Well, and I also think it's a good story to share because those are the connections that you can find at a conference like this. Like when you're sitting by someone or you like hear somebody talking about something, like don't be afraid to like talk to people and go up to them, and if you hear something that sparks your interest, like know more about them, because I think that's the great thing, that not only great friends but also just really great opportunities to do thinking. And one of the new books is about that.
Oh, that is great. So make sure to check that out. Make sure to look up, go search Shannon Miller. I can't list all the things that she's doing.
No, you can't.
It's so busy. But I do have one last question for you, because one of the things that Nick was saying earlier, that you've done a lot of work, you've set the standard, you really are a name that is trusted in the work that you're doing. But you keep showing up and learning yourself. What are some things that you are looking to learn and continuing to grow for yourself?
Here at the conference?
Yes.
Well, one of my favorite things to do is to go onto the floor and to see what all the great companies are doing, what's new. That's like my kind of job, like wearing my like teacher librarian hat and taking it back to my district. And also I'm excited to go to sessions where people are talking about not only like new technologies like AI, but how they're also just talking about creativity and kids, and we're sitting across from this like creativity crossroads. So all the things.
Well, that is great. Well, I really appreciate you taking time in your incredibly busy schedule to schedule us in every time. It is our viewers and listeners, and selfishly myself, always enjoy this time. So I appreciate you doing that.
Thanks for having me.
And get some energy drinks and whatever you got to do to get ready, because you are ready to take off starting at 9 this morning already. And the next 3 days. And we look forward to our paths crossing through this great event. And I look forward to continue learning from you.
Oh, thank you.
And for those out there who are watching or listening, make sure to continue to tune in. We have a few more great voices coming today, and then we'll be back on Tuesday right here. If you're live, swing on over, say hi. If you're watching online, continue to tune in as we continue to be live here at ISTE 2026. Hope everyone has a great event and continue learning, as Shannon just showed us. That is what we're all about.